What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to Southern Chaos YouTube channel. It's nighttime out. Unfortunately, I can't be filming outside. I've got to be filming in the garage, but got some stuff we're going over. I'm going to be taking the Grinch sticker off the hood. I was going to keep it on there, but some people want to get rid of it. They don't really like it, blah, 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 blah. But other than that, we're going to be taking this intake back off. This thing is still pushing oil out the back, so I'm thinking the milling on the heads and the angle from the milling on the heads and the intake don't line up. There's too much of a spread or something going on to where the gasket's not holding it when it's under a whole bunch of boost and just blowing the gaskets out of it. Other than that, the race, the Cletus Christmas tree race, was absolutely awesome. Ran our fastest pass in the car to date. We also, I can say, which because it's in the video, I ran my first 7-second pass, which was pretty freaking badass. Since we built this car, it's been just about 3 years. I've raced since I was about 16 years old. Always bracket race though. That's why I'm pretty dang good on a tree. But never been in any kind of heads-up racing. That's why I wanted to go to this car and build a fast heads-up car like we have now. This car in the past 3 years has had, if you're new to the channel, it has had a small block 351 stock block on spray. On no spray, the fastest we got the car to go was a high 9, like a 997, I believe. With spray, we got it to go in the 8th. It got us into the 5-second zone, which was kind of where we needed to be. And then now that it has the turbo setup, we are well in some other digits where we got to be. I can't unfortunately say that because we're no time racing with this car, but I can say the quarter mile time, we went our first 7. I've never been 7s in my life. And we went a 7 with the wrong gearing in the car. This car is geared to run 8th mile and 8th mile only, because that's all the heads up stuff that we race is 8th mile. The car has a 373 gear in it, and the weight of the car, the 8.8 rear end with the 373 on a 275 radial, and the power that we're putting down seems to be a pretty spot on combination. Might end up going to a 390 gear to make it a little bit steeper and come through the traps a little bit harder, but we're not there yet. Our biggest problem right now is the intake and the intercooler. The intercooler, this car is still air-to-air intercooler, like a street car. Does not have a water tank. It has a water box to cool the engine, because I do not, as you can tell, have a radiator, because we were trying to save weight and all this other stuff. So I have a water tank that sits beside me in the passenger seat that I'm sure you've seen in videos. Some of us been icing it down and whatnot. Car runs on Q16, not on methanol. If it was on meth or alcohol, I would not have to run an intercooler, but this thing is still a very streetable engine. It came out of a street car, like 100% street car. Still has a hydraulic roller cam, very small cam. It's got good heads. It's a 427 base start block, so it's still a strong unit as far as the heart of the engine. And the intercooler on the dyno videos, we were commanding like 30 to 40 pounds of boost, and it was only giving the car 15 to 18 pounds of boost. So we made 1,000 whatever it was, 1,070, almost 1,100 wheel on like 17 or 18 pounds of boost. So the intercooler is actually clogging this whole unit. You know, the whole cold side, hot side, everything is absolutely perfectly built on this thing. But the air-to-air was something that we were totally risking because we were on a budget. I believe it or not, I had that built, fully custom built and everything for like $400. So super cheap. Normally if you go like water to or air to water, the whole setup, the system, the pump, the box, the tubing, everything that's needed to make that happen, I mean, it can be anywhere from $1,500 to north of $2,500, $2,700 all said and done. I was on a budget. I went from a nitrous small block motor to a pretty stout motor that I know will hold about 1500 horsepower. I got a great deal from a guy I met on Facebook on the brand new ball bearing 91 millimeter turbo. So everything was kind of budgeted. I still kept my PTC Power Glide in there. Still has a stock case, which we're still risking for the biscuit on that. But the intercooler is the problem. When we're commanding like 30 pounds of boost and it's only making like 15, that's a problem. For one, it's not accurate for tuning, and two, we are overworking the turbo for no reason at all. I mean, if you're working it for 30 pounds of boost and you're making 30 pounds of boost and making stupid amount of power to the tires, that's one thing. But if you're just working the turbo to make half the potential that you could be making, why are we doing it? So that being said, I'll be having a clip here in a minute. I'm going to take off this whole front lower valence here, take all this off. I can get straight to the intercooler. I'm going to rip that intercooler out of there, and I will be taking it to Matt at ProFab in the morning. We're building a way bigger unit for an intercooler in there that'll hold 18 to 2000 horsepower capability, which should have no problem restricting this whole setup anymore. Then we can actually go to the dyno, you know, put it on 20, 25, 30 pounds of boost, and this thing should make that 12 to 13, 50 wheel horsepower range pretty safely, and the computer data will be what is actually being produced at the motor and putting it down on the ground. So being safe is better than being sorry, that's for sure. There's no point in overworking this thing just because we want to go race. So it'll probably be down for about 2 weeks. I think our next big race, we're possibly racing at US Street Nationals at the end of January. If not, there'll be a bunch of no time stuff, grudge racing, anything that really pops up. Now that we have the car like 95% tuned and bugs worked out, we just won our fastest pass with a freaking Christmas tree on the back of it. If you have not seen that video, go back to before this one and check that out. It's absolutely hilarious. If you go on my Instagram, G_Birch, BURICH, and check out some of those wheelie pictures, it's insane. The fact that the tree was on there and we were carrying a bumper wheelie for about 85 feet was absolutely insane. So that's that. I'm going to have some film on that here in a second of me tearing this thing apart, and I'll have it on the ground. I'll be able to kind of show you what is happening with that here in a second. But on a different note, aside from that, one of my good buddies, Justin Swanstrom, I'm sure you guys, if you have not already, go to Justin Swanstrom on YouTube. And sorry, I had to get the dogs in the house. But go to Justin Swanstrom's YouTube page. Check out all the crazy racing he's got going on. He's got a new No Prep King build going on. He's got a variety of different things he's going on with his channel. Go over there and hit the subscribe button for my man. He's helping me out with some other things with YouTube as well. And I got with him last night or 2 nights ago about his new project car. And I'm actually excited he's going to be doing this thing, because he's actually going to be racing no time and grudge racing and racing the class that I run and a lot of us local guys run. And in my opinion, he's going to have more fun in this new car than he has in his fast cars. So, but we'll see. We already talked about that. But I have it in the trailer. I took it. I asked him simply, because I live like 5 minutes from ProFab here in Hudson, Florida, that I could go over there and help him out, get the car loaded up. He had it tore down. He took the motor and trans that came out of it, took it all out today, which you can go see in his video that's on his YouTube, and put all his he got a new TKM motor, all that stuff on that car. And I actually went over there and picked it up with him tonight. And I'm not going to show you a bunch of stuff about it because I don't know what he wants me to have on there, but as you can tell, got a box full of parts. Got some cold side piping, shifter, Holley Dominator stuff, digital dash, some good parts. It is a Fox Body Mustang, white, notch, The thing is absolutely sick. It's gonna be a badass car. He's got a, I believe it's an 88 millimeter on that bad boy. So it's super, super clean car. Sorry, I ain't got no lights in here, but we went over there and picked it up for him today. It has a full, I believe, we're trying to figure it out. It's not stamped anywhere on what the cert cage is, but it is a notchback Mustang, parachute mount. I mean, the whole car is built absolutely good looking. Rear bracing, everything's already done with the car. So pretty much it's going to ProFab. I'm dropping it off for him in the morning, helping him out. He is going to be getting this whole thing rewired by Matt and the guys over at ProFab. And he will be heading out to be racing some no time racing with us. So go over there and check his page out if you have not already. And that thing is going to be freaking sweet. It's going to be another notchback TKM motor. I don't want to take the whole hood off and all that stuff right now, but I'll get to that when I drop it off. TKM motor. It's got a power glide. He's got some other ideas up his sleeve, what he's trying to do with it, but pretty much going to be racing with us guys. So look forward to that on his channel. And other than that, let's get to work. I gave you guys some updates. Let's get to work on this thing, get this intake pulled out, and get the intercooler off of here so I can get back to eating some damn dinner. we got our V-bands off. Intercooler's down here. Just took off the piping here. Had to take off this V-band clamp here on the back side of the turbo. Got a hose down here. I'm going to see if I can try to one-hand this. It's just an overflow, so we can cut that off of there. See if I can't one-hand this thing out. Probably gonna be a little tight, but we might be able to. Let's see. Nope, hang on. Alright, a little heavier than I thought, but let's try to get this thing over here. Make me some room. Whew. Twisted T-box holding it up. Twisted T-can. Oh man, alright, so the intercooler's out. That was somewhat of a biatch, but she's out. Everything looks good. Fuel pump and everything's mounted down there. I don't see no issues. It's the first time that stuff's been out. But put some of these tools back. Put some of these tools away real quick. Had to take some V-bands off. 4 bolts held it in, so can't really complain about that. Always put your damn 10 millimeters away. You hear me? This is a man's gem that always gets lost. 7/16. You always got those. Get this shit put away. Extensions. This can go back up there. Not gonna worry about it. All right, back to the intercooler. So, as you can see, get a little light for you inside there. If you don't know what an intercooler is, now you do. This intercooler was a intercooler. This is about, give or take, 2.5 foot, 2 foot, 2.5 foot, 3.5 inch on the ends. Got a cap on top. We kind of experimented with this, and believe it or not, it works. If I were to build another street strip car or a street strip truck or anything fun, I would 100% do this. So what Matt did was put some grating inside, and as you can tell, if I put this light here, you have water in the top. So the top of this is normally facing on top of the in the engine bay. You put ice water or ice in here, it cools this, and then it sits on top of the grates on the inside of that and kind of use it. It's kind of like a chiller, and honestly it gets really cold. The intake temps were substantially colder by using this, which is kind of the point of a air to water intercooler, or icing it down, because it's cooler. Cooler is always better. Cooler is better for the motor. Cool air outside is like free horsepower. I'm sure you've heard that rule before, but that's what it did. Cooled these cores to get into so the hot side would come through, hit the ice that was chilled on top on the intercooler side, go out to the cold side, which would come out around here and connect to my polished tube. Polished tube, cold side would go straight up into the intake. Ideally, it worked. This motor has a lot of back pressure. It's a 427. This turbo makes a lot of boost. It's capable of easily 40 pounds of boost. Motor, maybe around 30, 35. As long as the tune's good, of course. But the air-to-air deal is, apparently everybody said is pretty much capped at about 1,000 wheel horsepower, which, fair enough. I could probably say that's true, because I made about 1,100 and we were pushing the freaking hell out of it, and it's just not worth it. There's no point in putting that much strain on the motor for no reason at all. New intercooler. Why I'm taking this out, we're gonna get the same dimensions, same bolt hole placement, same everything. It's just gonna have way bigger cores. Probably doing away with this ice chiller, because for a race car, I mean, this thing literally, we ice it down, fire it up, push it to the lanes, do a burnout, make a pass, push it back with a golf cart. It's not a street car. It's not a, you know, it's not reliable in that source. This motor, when I fire it up at the line before my burnout gets about 90 degrees, the end of the track it's about 125. Very, very cool. I don't overheat it. I don't get it extremely hot, so there's no point in working it. It's way better for the longevity of this thing. I don't want to be tearing down the heads. I don't want to be going over everything every single pass. I wanted it to be fast and fun, and that's kind of what we're at. But this was our limitation. This will gain us probably close to another 150 to 200 wheel horsepower, which is what we really need to become even more competitive. Sorry. And the car is right now, with making half the potential, it's already competitive. Ran our fastest pass, which is a very competitive time. I know somewhat. You kind of know the ballpark, you know, word gets out in the field about what this thing can do and blah blah blah. You kind of get the idea of what most cars in these classes can run in no time, and the no time D League stuff. You can kind of get an idea if you know a little bit about the motorsports and racing. You know, it's very simple. A Mustang, 1,000 wheel horsepower, or a Camaro, or a 350Z, or a Corvette. I don't care what it is. If it's got a decent motor, big turbo, nitrous, blower, makes 1,000 or more horsepower to the tire, it's going to be fast. It's all about putting it to the ground, obviously, and making sure everything works properly. So this is being dropped off tomorrow, the intake at ProFab, or the intercooler. Sorry, I got intake on my mind because that's next to be pulled off. Intercooler is getting mocked up, rebuilt. Matt's going to redo that. Bolt it on, go back to the dyno, hopefully solve our problems. But until then, it's dinner time. I showed you guys Justin's project. He'll have more on his page. Stay tuned. If you haven't already, tell everybody about the page. We got more coming. Hit that bell so when you see videos like this, it alerts you. You know the deal. And it'll post you when we're going to be posting more videos. I'm going to be doing more on the Southern Chaos giveaway. I have till Wednesday, like I told you guys in the previous video. I got a lot of people that are in it. We're over our 500 subscriber count, and I can't thank you guys enough for that. If you haven't already, from the previous video I told you guys, email me that you simply subscribed at southernchaosgiveaways@yahoo.com. Put your name and your address. I will be doing Wednesday a drawing for the $300 cash giveaway, and t-shirt merchandise, and I think that's about it for right now. And then we're doing another one at 1,500 subs. So share this video. I love the support. Thank you guys for everything already. And this is just the beginning. 2021's just started. We got big things coming. Probably Wednesday when I do the giveaway, I'll be doing another quick video on our next project. You guys need to stay tuned for that. We'll go over it more, but it's going to be something fun. I can give you a simple hint. We're going to be experimenting into the LS world. Go figure. But it's a cheaper way for what we're trying to do. Bang for our buck stuff. This race car, you know, it's extremely badass. It's fast. It's fun. I got some good amount of money in it. Not everybody can do it, but this project of the budget build that we're going to be doing next, just about anybody can do. And we're going to be filming every single thing as an episode, or a series, I guess you would say, on what's happening next. And it's going to be pretty simple. I'm saying maybe like 10 videos tops to go from A to B. Cheap as possible. We'll go more over the details on what kind of horsepower, what motor, what application, what the hell it's going to be for. But that video is coming. Stay tuned next. And thank you guys again for all the support. Catch you later.